Your ass better call somebody!
You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE.
Give me a hell yeah!
Now, let's meet the host. Kyle Gagliardi.
The face that runs the place.
Jim Tucker. And Erica Marini.
I'm the boss. I'm the blueprint. I'm the standard.
Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
What's going on, people? It is Sunday, which means it's the OTM Sunday Shoot, where anything goes. We don't know what we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about a bunch of things. I'm with Jim Tucker and Erica Marini. How we doing?
Grand old morning, Mr. Gagliardi, and good morning on the East Coast to Erica Marini. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a day.
Erica, how you feeling?
I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired.
You got to sleep, Marini.
Yeah, it was a long night, and it was a lot of things consumed, and here we are.
I mean, you've had a pretty eventful past couple weeks, right? Because you were watching wrestling live for a couple shows a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You went to an indie show at a brewery.
Yes.
And then you're getting after it this weekend, huh?
And then, yeah. So
living your best life.
I'm just glad that I'm in like the later time zone.
That is
so
true.
I thought, yeah.
And I'm glad that I'm on the earliest one. Life is good.
And you're already up and haven't gone to the gym. So
I was gonna say, what is it? 8:30 there, right, Tuck?
8:32 in the morning. Oh yeah.
And what all have you already accomplished?
So we got some rain last night. We knew we were getting some snow, but not how much of it. We got a couple of inches of snow overnight. So woke up. I can't get into my garage if I don't shovel in ice. Like if there's snow on the driveway, my car can't. It's too steep. Gotcha. So I shoveled before we left. Went to Walmart. Got the weekly groceries out of the way, got to the gym, ran a few miles, and here we are. So after the podcast for me, my day is like done. I'm just going to make breakfast and then exist, I guess.
Just watch your fantasy teams go at it.
Yeah, sure.
How you doing in that league, really? I know we're in the same league together.
I got a winning record in 2 out of 3 leagues. I just try to have a lineup with most people in it. And that's about it.
Vogus gets it. He said, "Early bird life." What's going on, Vogus? Nice to see you here.
The time it is for Tuck now was my first wake up. I woke up and I looked at my phone. It was like 8:34 or something, and I was like, went on like Twitter, Instagram for a bit, and then I go right back to sleep.
So you said you're a shots girl now. What's the go-to?
I don't know what's gotten into me. Like I think it was like late summer. I just had like not a craving for like the alcohol per se, but I just wanted to like do a shot for some reason.
I hear you.
And I've been like into that now. So I've been I hit the blackberry brandy.
Okay.
Is my go-to. So I've been living that LaRue life, and yeah.
LaRue is one of my company's products, so
okay, good.
I appreciate you for finally supporting one
There's
product.
something else I thought. I can't remember.
There probably is something else. Robbie Collins is here with us this morning. He said, "What a weekend of wrestling that was." Yeah, it was kind of like a low-key, underrated lineup we had. But Erica, I know you watched Ring of Honor, right? That was it.
I watched that live.
Okay, and Tuck, you were live for both shows, weren't you?
Yeah. Very present, not always awake. But I ran and I watched the Iron Survivor in the main event of NXT again, just to make sure I had that. I felt good about Ring of Honor and NXT, most of it, but like I was snoozy on the Iron Survivor match.
Yeah.
And I was completely asleep for the main event. So like figured chalk, but it was fun.
I mean, like if you did what me and you did, watched ROH and NXT Deadline live, it basically was like a WrestleMania night for how many hours?
Long. Yeah.
It was a long day of wrestling, wasn't it?
Well, and for me, I woke up early to watch a football game at 9 a.m. with a couple buddies, and then I had a half hour to 45 minutes between each thing, so it was like I can get up and move and do stuff if I want to. We were cooking and stuff throughout the day, but it was nice, little 30, 45 minutes, an hour between the shows too. So
yeah, and then I had my Hoosiers were playing in between all of that too, so I had my eyes on multiple things happening at once, but I was able to rewatch NXT Deadline, which I thought that was probably my favorite show of the day. Tuck, would you agree with me there?
I agree. I put NXT above Ring of Honor.
Erica, Ring of Honor was a good show though overall. I don't think that's taken anything away from
I'm happy for. I always like pro NXT ratings or reviews, so I'm happy to hear it. But I did like that show a lot.
I know you didn't watch NXT, but doesn't it kind of feel like there's a resurgence
Because it
kind of
in
the brand?
Yes, and I hope. I don't know. Did you see that? I don't know, the tweet that was like, I think it was Shawn Michaels saying that like him and Triple H like haven't really like talked much in like the last few weeks. Does that mean that like Triple H just trusts what he's doing down there?
Yeah, I would say that's probably it. And you also have to assume William Regal might be getting his hands involved into some of the NXT stuff in the future. But let's just go to Ring of Honor first, because that's what happened first on the wrestling agenda for Saturday. What was your favorite match? Because I think for me, guys, it had to be the Briscoes versus FTR, because that dog collar match was fucking brutal in the best way possible.
Brutal. Yeah, it was. It got real bloody real fast, and you knew it would be. So this was actually the second on that card, because Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta, that was their third.
Yeah.
Go. I did not care for. I'm trying to remember. I'm a mess. I don't remember. I don't think I cared for the ending of that. It was like too quick, maybe. I don't know. But
you're talking about Yuta and Garcia?
Yeah.
I still don't get the pure wrestling thing. Like, I don't understand the rules.
I mean, I did appreciate like the psychology of it. Like when like Garcia was like making Wheeler use his rope breaks and stuff. I there was a lot about that match that I did like. I think I just didn't like the ending and whatever. But yeah, that FTR Briscoes match was just ridiculous. And even I would have watched just another straight tag match between the two of them. Like and it would be good. So then having it be like a double dog collar match and having it went the way that it did, and just it was gross. It was good.
Everything it needed to be, right, Tuck?
Oh yeah, and you knew right away both Briscoes like 2 minutes into the match are bleeding. You're like, okay, we're in it. All right, let's see where it goes. You know, like I will not be to blame for this one. You know, even if you like both teams, they got after it. It was satisfying. The creativity and the coordination that is involved in one dog collar compared to two. I don't know if it's twice as much of a headache, but it definitely is more. And they did that well too. It just seems like a lot of these guys they're just natural. I'm just really impressed with dog collar matches for the synchronization of it and dealing with the chain. I just thought they did that well as well. And the match was good. I enjoyed it.
There's a couple spots too. Like I think it was like tit for tat with Mark Briscoe and Cash, where like one of them was trying to get into the ring and like Mark Briscoe was hanging him back, and then it was like when roles were reversed, it was like Mark Briscoe almost forgot that he was like attached to Cash and like tried to like dive in there, and like Cash was all like,
how about when Cash yanked him onto the chairs on the outside?
Oh my God, yes. All those fucking chairs. My God, that pile of chairs.
That spot looked like a video game spot. Like the physics wouldn't make sense in real life in the world we live in, but in a video game, it's very satisfying, and it happened in real life.
In real life.
That one, there was another one. There was a firm chair spot in the ring too, landing on the chair.
Oh yeah. Oh, with Dax, right? He like suplexed him, like it was like a superplex. It was something like that on the chairs. Holy shit! Yeah, there was a lot of like, holy shits, and like in my.
It was great.
I've maybe seen like a handful of dog collar matches, so this probably would be. I enjoyed it more than CM Punk and MJF, and that was a very good match itself. But you brought it up, Tuck, just the usage of the chain in this one. Even when Dax went to the top rope and he starts wrapping it around his head.
He was struggling, and he was struggling with it. It wasn't easy, but he didn't. He was committed to getting it done, right? He didn't rush it when it didn't go well the first time, because I was like, okay, I see what he's doing, but it ain't working. There's too much blood on your head. It's not going to stay. That's not going to work like it did in the back. Okay, he's still trying it. And people got it. It was still impactful. If that's the biggest blemish of the match, so I think it was a pretty good match, right?
Oh, it's got to be match of the night. I put it on my match of the year candidates. I know we got the OTM. We have the OTM
on the list.
Yeah, it's on there.
Ask. All right.
I mean, you guys probably would agree, right? This has to be a match of the year candidate.
Yes. Sorry, I have a cat crawling into my
oh yeah,
into my sweatshirt.
It must be cozy in there.
Thanks. This is great. I know where I'm going. Oh yeah.
He does this every time I have it on. I can't even sit comfortably because he's now just plopped in the back. Okay.
Inside the sweatshirt there.
Against my butt now.
Ryan Vogus asked, when's the OTME show? It will be December 29th. I started a list of potential candidates for each category. We're going to collaborate and come up with 4 per each award. And then after that, we will open it up to the public. And then you guys will decide who is the winner of each category. When I was going through that list, guys, for some reason, and I try not to be biased, but I had a lot more WWE names, WWE, pay-per-views that I enjoyed more than AEW.
Interesting.
I don't think that's crazy.
We try not to be biased.
We've had. I know, but that doesn't mean it's 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, has AEW had the strongest year?
They've definitely had the most headlines in the negative way.
It's been turbulent, yeah, but I don't think it's even. WWE's used their headlines a little differently, right? Like the hands that they've been dealt, the Vince McMahon stuff, they've used it differently. AEW cooled off for a little bit to try to just be in a holding pattern until shit kind of blew over, and that was how I would have done it too. But WWE's they've had a great year. Both companies have had good years.
I think WWE is, I mean, it helps that they're like having a comeback of sorts as of late, or like with the Triple H era. I know you have matches on there before, that, but
I mean, my match, and like Robbie's saying, match of the year, it's going to be tough to pick 4 because there's a good match. You can have a match of the year candidate probably every other week on television, whether it's Impact, which I don't watch, Ring of Honor, NXT. There's so many good matches out there, so it is going to be hard to.
FTR and Briscoe's had 4 of them.
Yeah,
3 of them.
I do think they are on my list a couple times. Vogus saying Kyle spitting facts. Thank you, sir.
Somebody steal Vogus's phone and type that comment in.
Are you guys like want me to name a few of the matches I have on my match of the year candidate?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I do is I keep this list going throughout the year, and I'll erase some when I kind of like stack it up against ones that I add. I'm like, oh, this one wasn't as good as I really thought it was. What's Tuck laughing at? Did Vogus say something funny? No.
Vogus said no. I'm sending Secret Santas out today, and I just wanted to confirm whether he was in. I told him to reply in the comment section to confuse you two, but then you asked the yes or no question.
Oh,
that was funny.
Which it does answer both.
Yes. Correct. No to both. Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into a few of these. I kept Danielson and Hangman Page, and you probably won't remember this, but it was on Dynamite January 5th. That match stood out to me. I kept that on there. Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara at Bash at the Beach. That was the ladder match. I thought that was fantastic. Isn't it crazy to think that match happened in 2022?
Yeah.
Which is Cody's on here a few times. Which, by the way, if Cody didn't get hurt, I think he would have been my wrestler of the year, but he had that injury at Hell in a Cell, so he's done. Cody and Rollins made it a couple times. Bianca and Becky, Osprey and Orange Cassidy at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view is one of my favorites. Like Erica said earlier, FTR and Briscoes, I have every single one of their matches on here. And then I think another one, too, that a lot of people are going to probably vote for if it makes the top 4, Gunther versus Sheamus at Clash at the Castle. That was one of my favorite ones as well. So there's just a few of them right there, guys.
Dum dum, da 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 dun dun. I like Gunther, and I'm less mad about the name change. Again, everybody horny overreacts with some of the name changes, but Gunther works. I think it plays for him.
And no, and at this point, especially I feel like it works more than like Walter would.
I agree.
Like, for what he is.
Gunther.
And like the song Gunther, the ring general. Like it just sounds like a classic WWE villain.
Do you listen to that in your car?
Yes, of course I listen to that in my car. I was in the top like EC3 used to say the top 1% of WWE Spotify listeners. So you're welcome, WWE.
Quite the flex.
Actually, 0.1. It wasn't top 1, it was 0.1. So I am the biggest mark out of all the marks.
Well, I don't think that was ever up for debate.
Well, thank you. Erica, let's talk about this because this is the only show that you actually watched.
Wait, don't talk about this because
why?
Because I didn't watch this match.
Oh, come on.
I wanted to watch the Joe match. I wanted to watch the FTR versus match. I had to run home at one point, so I was like, "All right, Berg, this is closing it out. Whatever." I'm happy that Claudio won. I saw how he won. Obviously, I was rooting for him, and I thought that finish was like sweet. I saw some people complaining about it on Twitter, but then when people like started to explain why that was so detrimental and it's not just like getting spun, how it's like stretching your body out and how he just wrestled whatever, like 15, 20 minutes and then had to go through that it makes sense. That's something I've never seen before. And now he's selling the spin, whereas a lot of people just disorients them and then maybe it sets them up for something else. So I kind of liked, not kind of like.
Well, and really, Jericho's old, dude.
Yeah.
And he's having some of the best matches of his career.
And again, like it would make more sense for Jericho to be old. However, how many miles he has on his body and how many matches he's been in for something like that to make him pass out compared to somebody that isn't as far into their career. And so like, again, that some people are just going to bitch, right? Like if he spun him and let him go and pinned him, is that better? I thought I thought it was unique. I thought it was different. It was in a spot where you've never seen someone tap from the spin, right?
No, you never saw that.
So in the middle of the tap, you're like, you're just caught up in counting. You're almost getting hypnotized. And then it was wait, he actually tapped. I didn't even know you could do that. Right.
Right.
And it puts a unique bow on a pretty good show.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of describing the show too. A pretty good show. It had its weak points, but it definitely had its highs as well. And I think Claudio winning was definitely one of those highs. And Robbie asked a good question. And by the way, Sunday Shoots, just shoot topics our way. We'll talk about whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But Robbie said, do you think he still ends his career in the WWE? And I believe he's talking about Jericho. Erica, what do you think about that?
I don't put it past him. I thought there was a point where I would have said no way. I don't know if he ends it in WWE, but I don't think his career ends without him stepping foot back in WWE.
Like one more legit run.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when that would be. Because he's obviously still in great shape. He can obviously still go, but it's like, when do you cut it off with AEW, like, to make that move back?
Or does he get offered like a Moxley type deal for 5 years and like transitions into like a backstage role for AEW?
Right.
I mean, that's something I could see too, but I'd like to see him have another run in WWE. I don't know if he ends his career in WWE, like you said, Erica, but I'm here for it. Tuck, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I would be more. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended in WWE. I'd be a little surprised, but not. It wouldn't come out of nowhere for me. And I think we're a couple years away still from it.
I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Interesting with the. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna pull up Vogus's comment. He said he's a Vince guy. I don't know if he's as likely to go back now, which I think is a fair point.
Yeah. WrestleTix has not posted the final count for Final Battle, but about an hour and a half
seats.
The current setup was for 3,574. An hour and a half before the bell, there were 1,035 tickets remaining. Yeah.
Does that go back to what we were talking about on Thursday, Tuck? Where just like the confusing build to it mixed in with AEW Dynamite?
Yeah, kind of sloppy. An afternoon show on a university campus. It was at University of Texas at Austin. Like, is that the crowd? Some of the afternoon shows, you need more around it, right? A GCW afternoon show is usually pretty cool because you're going to SummerSlam, or like when we go to NXT, we're going to NXT at 10 a.m. because we're going to WrestleMania. For that to be a standalone show is interesting. And do
you have an idea what the average ticket was for Ring of Honor Final Battle?
They opened up some seats the day of lower bowl, like it was kind of just one big bowl, but lower level for $25. So there were tickets to that show that you could get into for $25. A lot of those left, but 1,000 tickets left is not I would have went. Now I don't know if I would have went to Vegas for it. No,
I wouldn't have made a trip out of it. No,
I might have went to San Francisco or Sacramento, a couple hours, spend the night. Cool. But
drivable, trainable.
Yeah, Reno, that'd be great. But
I mean, $25, that's cheaper than the actual pay-per-view cost. It costs $40 to buy Ring of Honor Final Battle. Mm-hmm. So looking at it that way, it's like, why not? If you're somewhat close to that area, go to the show.
And if there's only 3,500 seats, there's not a bad seat in the house. You're not a mile away. No. If there's only 3,500. So
I'm curious about like the TV, not the TV deal, but the like what are they called? Honor
pay-per-view buys?
No, isn't that like their Ring of Honor?
The new streaming service.
Yeah. Like I wonder like how you said like how it was.
Oh, did they announce something and I completely missed it?
Yeah, in the press conference after. So monthly subscription to Ring of Honor TV Honor Club. $10 a month, weekly Ring of Honor television.
Are you going to do it?
Probably not.
Because I'm already paying the Fight TV thing $5 a month.
We got what, 10 or $15 for Peacock?
Yeah.
$5 for Fight Plus.
AEW pay-per-views are what, 50 or 60?
$50 every couple months for those. GCW shows are now like $5 a month, right?
$5 a month, that's what I do. Yeah.
Like,
that's a steal. That deal is just incredible.
That's dumb. Yeah,
so Ring of Honor, is going to have a weekly show. Okay.
On Honor Club, yeah.
Did they announce when that starts?
Should be after the first of the year.
Gotcha. Bogus is asking, is ROH playing a part into why AEW has been slipping? Which I think is actually a fair question. Spending too much time trying to push both instead of making one great? Maybe. I don't think that's a dumb question by any means.
And I'm wondering then how they're going to so now 2 members of the Blackpool Combat Club hold Ring of Honor titles. Obviously, those are going to play into AEW every week, but do they defend them on Dynamite? Do they just carry the belt to the ring? Do they continue to set up Ring of Honor matches on AEW television? I don't know how I appreciate the resurgence of it and that now we have more wrestling and more avenues, but I don't know how you make it. I don't know what's the best play.
Yeah, I just hope when it does become the weekly thing, the Honor Club and all that we do not spend any AEW Rampage, Dynamite time building ROH things so we can just focus in on AEW storylines. It gets too confusing. And that's why Vogus asked that question, I think, Tuck, is that might be a big reason why it's kind of slipping in the opinions of some.
Well, and I'm going through, I just searched ROH TV Honor Club on Twitter, stuff like that. the opinion is interesting at WWE_WWF_junkie on Twitter. Says ROH TV is going to be on Honor Club. Translation: nobody else, including Warner and YouTube, want anything to do with the ROH product. Right?
Like that's not good.
If they decided to host Honor Club on ROH TV, here's its own separate thing, $10 a month. It's probably because nobody else picked it up, right? And I think that plays well with Vogus's comment on like, is AEW slipping because the interest in ROH is not there? Maybe now put it away, put it over there. Let ROH be a thing that people access.
Let it cook.
Like very sparingly does WWE and NXT bounce, right? Like they if anything, WWE people pop up on NXT. You're like, whoa, this is what? That's crazy that happened and they showed up here. That's crazy. That enhances NXT, but you don't see a lot of NXT people weekly building storylines for NXT on WWE programming. And that's why I think NXT is viewed better as well.
But do you think this was Tony kind of like having no other choice? I mean, he signed literally everybody and had nothing to do for 70% of them. So like, is this his way of like, okay, now you could play in Ring of Honor and you know what I mean? I don't know. But I agree with what you said. It gets convoluted. Like it's just too muddy.
I think now we give it a look because ROH will be its own thing. We don't know when it's going to start. There will be tie-ins with New Japan as well. That's what he also mentioned, that there's going to be some New Japan stuff with Honor Club as well. So now he's like, okay, here's where it is. At least we have lanes now. It's not, I think the word I used a couple of weeks ago was amorphous, right? Like it's a little clearer on where we're going. We'll see.
And then Vogus said, I think he bit off more than he could chew, thinking everything was going well, and then All Out happened. Yeah. The dome or globe he was living in was kind of bubble thin, and it popped, and now we've got to see where we're at. It's not, he had his foot on the gas pedal in the left lane for a long time, and now we got to slow down.
Speaking of All Out, what do you? I mean, I'm sure he's just trolling, but like Punk, his Instagram stories.
What about him? I haven't even been really.
Well, the one that he posted, like him, and he was like from like when he was, when it was like in WWE, and then he like posted the picture of him with Mickey James. Like, I don't know. It was just odd.
He's probably just trolling. Let's see.
And then did you see Sasha reposted about the women's match last night? It was just like an ad for it, but I know her in India.
The NXT match.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I just noticed it this morning. It said 17 hours ago, so she must have maybe did it like last night when it was happening. So maybe she was just watching.
The only Sasha thing that I've been hearing about is that January 4th New Japan show and how she's probably going to be on it, which is pretty wild because that would mean she is a free agent.
Well, and then or okay, and it could go either way, but I like to think that maybe she stays in WWE and they let her work like Japan, like Carl Anderson.
I just think the Carl Anderson situation is a little different because when he won the whatever title that was that he won, he was technically a free agent and not under contract with New Japan.
He is also not Sasha Banks.
That's true.
Well, Sasha has that leverage. Like, I'm coming back to WWE. I'll be there in March, but I'm also going to go to Japan in January, and I'm going to do this. And if that's a problem, I'll just be rich doing everything else. Like,
I will have no problem.
I get $30K to attend a meet and greet. I stand 6 feet away from people, and they take my picture, and people do it. Like, come on, dude. You know what I mean? So. Again, not me. I'm not paying $150 to stand 6 feet away from her and be like, we shared the same rug.
Yeah.
I'm also not the guy that wants to act like we're doing a prom picture. But if we're doing a meet and greet, like we shake hands, like Johnny Gargano is the standard for meet and greets for me now. Also, Diamond Dallas Page. Like, Spend some time, tell a story. They're asking you questions. That I don't get that same energy if I'm yelling across the way. And again, 6 feet, yelling 6 feet's an exaggeration, but
girls have it easier because I'm not, chances are, gonna creep out a male wrestler. I think when I met Eddie, I think we hugged. And that was like on him. He probably just like saw it all over my face. And then like that's been like the norm now, where it's like they'll put their arm like around me, and like, except for Claudio,
it's going to get to a point where meet and greets come with a checklist. Like shake hands, check. Yes. Yeah. Hugs. No. No. Can't hug this guy. I can shake his hand. At least it would be clear. It would cut through some awkward stuff, right? Yeah. Like, I will do this. I will. Yes. Let's fist bumps only, right? And COVID, COVID end up world. Yeah. Give me the hug lines. Hi.
A few comments here. Robbie asked, "Wait, so will TK be running ROH, or will someone step in?"
I'm under the impression he's gonna have his irons in the fire. There hasn't been anyone else named, or it has not been insinuated that others will take over. So
interesting.
Just what he needs when AEW Rampage never means anything. I would rather him just focus his attention on making Rampage that B show. Even though I don't know if you guys watch Rampage all the time. B show?
Bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Moxley and Takeshita had a very good match on Rampage this week. But
that's what I'm hearing.
Takeshita's good.
Is that Take Soup? It's his nickname on Twitter. Take Soup.
I like it. Focus asks, did Nakamura have his Japan match yet? We
got a frozen Kyle hip.
Did we lose Tuck?
We lost you.
Huh?
We lost
you.
I think we're losing me again.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday shoot. Here we
bump.
Anyway.
All right, he's back.
I don't know. I'm not. I'll figure it out.
What do you mean?
You're right there. I'm looking at you.
Erica, do you know what Vogus is talking about when he says Nakamura's Japan match? I am not familiar. I'm not clued in.
Yes. Who's he facing?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
I'm looking.
I thought it was Suzuki, wasn't it?
I almost would think that, but I didn't know if I was.
Oh no, it's Muda. He's facing Muda. Isn't he?
Or
I thought he was having like a retirement thing going on and just facing whoever.
But isn't that? I thought that was Sting.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I'm on the job.
I think Tuck's on the research job.
Oh, it is Muda. You're right. You're right.
It was Muda. When is it? January potentially, right?
The Great Muda, January 1st. Noah's New Year 2023 event at Budokan Hall in Tokyo.
And that's 100%.
That's cool. Correct? Oh yeah. Looks like
that will be cool. I'll watch that. What did Bogus say? That was to say Triple H seems to be letting people go to Japan too.
Yeah, Bogus, you want Sasha in WWE, right?
I think we all do, right?
Yeah. You know what part of it is? I know I've said this before, but the AEW, like the hardcore AEW, like losers will not shut the fuck. And I'm friends with one of them. Will not shut the fuck up if she comes to AEW.
She ain't going to AEW.
That is honestly 99% of why I don't want her there. And I don't know what the other 1% is, but
I do not want to see her.
You're gonna lose her. I couldn't think of a mean word
in AEW. I just don't want to see it.
No. But then who do you think his partner is? Sorry.
There you go. So I want everyone in WWE. I'm a WWE guy. That's fair. He's a loyal man. Just like we both want FTR in WWE again, back with Papa H, since they are starting to drop titles left and right. So I think they're free agents in February or March. Do you guys know for sure what month that is?
I was almost even going to say April, but maybe you're right. Sometimes
it's early 2023. I know that. So,
who do you think? Did you talk about this? Saraya's partner is, because that's like January 5th or something, or January 11th.
Can you fill me in on what it is? I don't even know what Saraya's looking for a partner for.
It's Britt and
the FTR contract expires in April.
April. You were right, Erica. Good job.
No, I don't know if it's whatever. When is winter is coming? Is that December or January?
This week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's sometime in January, and I don't know why, but it's going to be Britt and Jamie versus Saraya and ?
Oh, so they're like building it as it's
At
going.
first, I was like,
I
wanted it to be Tony, and then I was like, oh, it's not until a few weeks. So
I'll tell you who it is. It's going to be
Oh.
Thunder Rosa. We haven't seen Thunder Rosa in forever, and she has that history with Britt, and she was the champion, and Jamie is the champion. It's got to be Thunder Rosa.
Do you think she would come back?
Why wouldn't she?
I don't know. Wasn't she like problematic?
I don't believe that backstage stuff. I take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if that's actually the reason. Like, if she's been off TV for this long, she had to have some sort of injury.
And then all of I'm really bouncing. All of
That's the
Sasha
point of the show.
Marks,
We're shooting.
people are like, oh yeah, but if it was Mercedes Monet or whatever stupid name, but I think that's also could be her like CBD.
I think it is.
Stuff, right?
Yeah. She trademarked a bunch of things, which I think has to do with her company. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's talk about a little bit from NXT Deadline, because we've actually spent a lot of time talking about like ROH and AEW. How do you guys feel about, or I should ask Tuck this because you haven't seen it yet, Erica. How do you feel about the Iron Survivor matches? Because I thought they executed both pretty well.
Well, and without disqualifications, right? Like it's not a no DQ match. We're wrestling, baby. And they gave us two different looks at it too. So I liked that. The women's match had a different feel, energy, urgency to it than the men's match did. Both were good. Loved the men's match. The women's match was ambitious enough to be executed well. It was not the women's Money in the Bank ladder match or the women's War Games match, which felt ultra ambitious and missed some parts. It was good. The women's match was good. I just thought there were more power players in the men's match where a lot more of it made sense. And some of those spots were super creative. So I'm interested to see where they go from here. And there's still, like, again, they mentioned it could go to overtime. Like, there's still a lot of options to keep the concept fresh. We're not out with just 2 tries, so I like it.
I liked it too. I hope we see more of it, or this becomes like a yearly show at the end in December or something to build towards a takeover in February, like a Vengeance Day. I think that would be a cool thing. Robbie's saying the Iron Survivor matches were great. Thought the women's match was better for him personally, but the men's match was still fantastic. And you know who really stood out to me, other than Roxanne Perez, who ended up winning the damn thing, was Kiana James. I thought she had a very strong performance, pulled out some innovative moves, and other than Roxy, I mean, she was probably the biggest star in that match.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see that coming. And it shows the concept with the time element, people coming in and out, the layered entrance. There's a lot of stories that you can tell within the match as well. Kiana James had that story. And then when you look at the men's match, JD McDonough had that story as well. His story was, oh shit, there's 3 minutes left. I don't have any points. You know what I mean? So within the match concept itself, you have personal stories, you have rivalries that blend together. I thought it was great. I enjoyed them because it was new. There's the newness factor where it was like, I've never seen this before. Wow, cool. But there's more you can do with it.
Well, it's also a perfect match for heels to be heels and just get sneaky covers like Grayson Waller did. When he entered the match, he got 2 quick pinfalls, just like
that was fun. Yeah.
And we talked about that talk. I was like, Grayson Waller is probably a dark horse. He ended up winning the damn thing.
Well, and again, that pointed to Robbie's surprise winner loser comment. Grayson had a strong argument, and then right off the bat rolls in, sweet double cutter, bang, see a point. And that's awesome. The other thing with the Iron Survivor match, the point concept, you could why not do an Iron Survivor tables match where you get points for throwing people through tables, right? Instead of a pin, gives you a different vibe. So again, I got to apply for a WWE creative job.
Get this man hired. Erica, I know you've fallen victim to the Grayson Waller effect now that he is the #1 contender. You think there's any chance he takes down Braun Breaker?
Why not? I'd like it. No offense to Apollo Crews. I don't know how that match went.
Good match.
Okay. I have a criticism of Apollo Crews. Some would say Tucky's tomatoes, if you will. Let me know when it is appropriate to say that.
Go for it.
Who goes to a diner and only orders eggs?
Psychopath shit right there.
Black coffee, a plate full of eggs, and toast. Get out of here.
We need like
He
hash
deserved to win that
brown
match anyways. Mixing a scramble, something.
Ketchup on those eggs.
or hot
Eggs.
sauce.
Bro, well, I'm going to a diner for something I could do myself. Get out of here. I'm out.
Scrambled nonetheless. Yeah, I could see if you don't know how to like poach an egg or like make an omelet. Scrambled
A
eggs.
thing.
Those are hard to do sometimes.
What, scrambled eggs?
No, scrambled eggs are easy.
Oh,
Like poaching and omelets can be tricky.
yeah.
Vogus had a critique. The penalty box should be closer, or the time shouldn't start until they get in. Otherwise, loved it. Yeah, that's a fair critique, and I'm sure they can find.
I agree.
Some of these things for sure.
I saw a lot of
for two first tries, pretty good.
And I saw positive feedback on the women's, especially because they went first and maybe it went kind of quick is like what I'm hearing, or I don't know. But then somebody pointed out, like, you can't plan for a 45-minute match with a new concept that you don't know how the crowd's going to react to it.
Right.
So just the way that like the women like taking that fall, like going first, like in it, I don't know. I heard good, which makes me happy.
Yeah, and I think
it seems like. Go ahead, guys.
I was just gonna say I think they got the right call with both the winners. Like Roxanne makes sense going against Mandy, and Grayson Waller maybe could beat Braun Breaker. I'm not counting on it, but he's going to be a good heel for Braun to dive into.
Yeah.
I thought the women's match felt a little more straight up, like from the jump, it was Roxanne's match. The way that she was constantly a center of attention. Even when she was out of the match, they were still wondering where she was. With the men's match, they focused on Axiom. He needs pins. JD McDuck, like they were sprinkling it out, and the scoreboard can dictate how you commentate it too. And I think 25 minutes is nice. Like, you know, it's going to be a good match. There's a lot of stuff that could happen, but at some point we have to go here, you know, and it made the war games, the early stuff in the war games is fun, but almost not meaningful when in this Iron Survivor Challenge, like from the jump, points can be scored. The dynamic can look different. Yeah, for sure. We got a comment here from Ryan Vogus. He said Axiom slow-mo thing is interesting. John Morrison it's like zippy, but like they started there was some like conflict. He was in the corner and the guy rushed him, and it was some of the fight was in that weird. I'm out.
But that was a good point too with the two matches. Like you said, it was focused around Roxanne. She was the story. But in the men's, it felt like it was can't miss. There was a spot here for someone, and then a big moment here, and then oh my God, we are all tied up at 2 apiece. Like it felt like something you couldn't, keep your eyes off of. Which
I'm
I
gonna
enjoyed.
make a point to watch that match today.
You definitely need to watch those two matches. I think both are worth the watch, and also probably I would watch the New Day and Pretty Deadly. The best spot in that match was them just faking the Eddie Guerrero stuff altogether.
On Twitter too. Yeah, that was cute.
Mista was very confused at that live. And the first one happened, I was like, just like along for the ride, and Mista felt like something's happening and I'm not sure what it is. And now 4 people are on the ground.
And it looks kind of
nobody got hit.
Liking it.
Yeah, it was fun. I like Pretty Deadly, dude.
They seem like they're ready for the main roster. Like when I watched that match, their chemistry with the New Day and their interaction, I was like, these guys are going to be fantastic.
Do you think the main roster makes them like cover their nips with those shirts? I mean, I know men walk around shirtless and their nips are out anyway.
Free the nip.
Is it suggestive?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Erica, what do you think about that though? The New Day becoming NXT champions. They got the triple crown. Yeah,
I'm happy for them. I thought it was random until I guess they explained it, and then I'm happy for them.
That's a good point from Robbie. On commentary, Booker T was just hating on everything the New Day did. He's like, "Oh, that's dumb." He's like, "Oh, I hate this."
No, really?
Come
like,
on,
what's
man.
going on here? Shucky ducky quack quack. I do enjoy Booker T's commentary, and Ryan Voga said chest hair 100.
I remember him saying that last night, and then I saw it this morning, and that was a clip I watched, was the like Eddie Guerrero thing, and then I noticed the chest. I was like, oh,
because I'll be honest, I was in on the Yes Boy thing before I was like completely sold on Pretty Deadly. I was like trying to talk myself into being a Pretty Deadly guy, and now I am a Yes Boy. Zero merch on the WWE shop.
Come on, guys, what are we doing?
Not
happy about it.
Did you look on like NXT? I always say this.
Isn't there an NXT shop, like a separate
shop or something? I think
I tried that.
Finn Balor obsession.
I got a
different shirt from like.
Are you talking like the triangle emblem that he used to have on his T-shirt, Erica? The Finn Balor shirt.
There was like some things that they had in like normal like WWE shop, and then I think I went to like WWE shop like UK or EU or whatever it was. It was a lot.
Like enough to buy a shirt off the dark web though. Like
or
with
going
crypto or bones.
So that's a good question from Robbie. What's the dream match you guys would want with the New Day as champs now in NXT? I would like to see Diamond Mine take on New Day. The Creed brothers versus New Day would be very good. It's hard. I'm like trying to think of the NXT tag teams because I feel like they're all just getting called up.
What about Carmelo?
Brooks. Oh yeah, Carmelo and Trick. You have Brooks and Jensen too that they could put over for a little bit. Indashir, which is Veer, and I always forget the other guy's name. So there's a couple options down there. But it goes back to what we were saying on Thursday, Tuck, with New Day potentially becoming the champions. You good over there?
Yeah.
Did you get hit by the pussy?
The pussy jumped off my lap.
I was talking about a cat. Relax. Get your mind out of the gutter. No, it's gonna be cool.
I'm over here trying to find Pretty Deadly merch, and no.
I mean, you can't find any Pretty Deadly merch, but you can go to the onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com and use code DEADLINE today and save 10%. Which, by the way, guys, our new #1 selling shirt is the Stop the What chance. We've had 3 orders of those T-shirts right there.
Bestseller.
Well, I guess maybe the regular T-shirts have sold originally a little bit more, but recently the new #1 seller would be Stop the What chance. Anything else you guys want to chat about, or does that pretty much tie in both shows that we watched yesterday?
James?
I got nothing. Yeah, I think I'm glad that we got to talk about it close. And then if a show were to happen Thursday, you know, it is what it is. We could make I was just about to mention this, as Voga says, why don't you make a Yes Boy shirt? I'm a Yes Boy. Yes Boy. I don't know. We could figure it out.
Could we get in trouble for that though? Since that's like what their thing.
We have a shirt that says banger after banger after banger after banger.
That's true. Fair point. It's a fair counter.
And why don't you spell it like BOI?
Yes, because they would spell it with a Y, but we could spell it with an I.
Or like 2 F's.
Yes, boy. The O in boy, OTM in parentheses, I. Yes, boy. OTM. See what I did there? You're welcome.
No, you have to create that.
I'll just show you later, okay? Wow.
Yeah, okay, show it to me later because I wasn't fun. What are you eating over there, Marie?
A bagel.
A bagel. At least you didn't call it a bagel.
You got any? What kind of schmear you got on it? You got a schmear on there?
It's in everything with regular creme cheese.
What is that? Is that
Schmearini
podcast?
Yeah, the GP with Rosenberg because they're Jewish.
They're big schmears, guys. Oh yeah.
They love.
I like listening to that show because it's just dudes. I enjoy.
It's kind of like a shoot.
Yeah, they're funny and they do a good job.
Robbie asked, "When the fuck did Drew Gulak go back to NXT?"
Oh, it was like last week. It was like a week.
It happened on Tuesday.
Very recent. Yeah, within. Yeah.
Which it makes sense. It's another guy. He could have a career resurgence down there. But speaking of Thursday, probably not going to have a Thursday show Erica's busy, and so am I. Unless
Not
Tuck
everything.
wants to pop off with an episode by himself. Anybody down for a solo Tuck pod?
I might send out a Google form looking for applicants if they'd like to fill a co-host role. They could apply to potentially co-host the show with me. Very stringent process. It's not for everybody.
Thorough background check.
Just flowing it out there. Yeah.
Bogus didn't know you were a GP guy. Me and you both are Ring of Wrestling guys, aren't we? Because of
Vogus it started with it starts with the Masked Man show, and then you go into Cheap Heat, and then you also listen to every episode of the Book of Wrestling, which is awesome. If you don't listen to that, great. Book of Wrestling is about catchphrases, like iconic catchphrases throughout the Attitude Era and their implications, like deep dives and things like that. Great something to listen to when you're out running, doing cardio, driving the car. I barely listen to music when I drive now. It's usually just podcasts or something like that. So all credit to Vo for that. Oh yeah.
And of course you got to listen to the On the Mark Wrestling podcast. Put that in your rotation as well, because the show's fucking great. But yeah, probably no show this Thursday, so we'll count this kind of as the show for the week. We'll be back the week after that. I believe it's the 22nd, a little bit before Christmas. I'm sure we'll be able to talk about our weekend, because next weekend is the Warrior Wrestling trip for the boys, and we are going to Friday Night SmackDown, which Friday Night SmackDown is a loaded card this week. The Tribal Chief himself's going to be there. There's an IC title match. I know I'm missing something else big that's happening.
Well, there might be implications too. There's some two number one contenders matches. I know that's the Raw brand, but that's happening on Raw too. So now, like, you can't always put Raw in one bucket and SmackDown in the other. We'll see, but that show does look dope.
Yeah, I'm very
both Raw and SmackDown look solid.
And then I'll get to see Erica's boy on Saturday.
You'll see him Saturday, right?
You want me to say Erica Marini says hi to him?
No.
Yes. Does he know you by name? Yes. He's got to. He follows you, right?
Well, yes.
I mean, Eddie Kingston follows you, Thunder Rosa follows me, and John Cena follows our podcast. So we're kind of over.
Yeah.
You think Cena's watching right now? Actually, he does follow.
Well, we wouldn't tell. We wouldn't be able to know. So
we wouldn't see him.
It's true.
No.
I like to think that we give him his motivational, all of his positive tweets.
Yeah, I love his tweets.
Yeah,
he comes back on the 30th. He's going to be on SmackDown.
Of course, he had to get an appearance in before the end of the year, right?
And it's in Tampa, so it's right down the road from where he lives. That's why he's probably on it. Erica, any final remarks?
No, I'm really excited for your next weekend, though.
Me too. It's a Mark-filled weekend. And I think GCW is running a show on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong there. Could be wrong.
I got 2 tickets to Revolution. I'll be there.
There you go. That's in February.
March 5th. March 4th or March 5th. It's on a Sunday. So if I have a game Saturday, I'm going to go coach the game and then drive to San Francisco. We got the show Sunday. I'll take a personal day Monday, drive back, and I won't miss any baseball. So this is doable.
Sweet spot right there.
Good solid seats, lower level, very similar to the seat that Kyle could have had it all out 2 years ago or 3 years ago. The single seat I took with Vogus and Mez. Gotcha. It's lower level, ramp and entrance to the left, like halfway down the ramp. So I will be looking this way at the ring, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yes, should be. Vogus asked if there's any tomatoes for you this week, since we won't be having a Thursday show.
I don't think so. Took on this week.
She's letting her tomatoes grow, ripen up, freshen up.
Getting them ready for the 22nd.
Maybe I'll do that today since I have nothing else to do. I have a very corny idea for the Erica's Tomatoes intro. So
okay.
Also, give me some feedback on candidates and all that for the OTMs happening on December 29th. Biggest show.
I tried to find a tuxedo shirt, but I made the mistake of typing in girl version of tuxedo shirt, and it's the same shirt. It's just fake boobs.
Yeah, figured it'd be pretty revealing.
So I'll be finding something.
So you're gonna wear that?
But that
I'll get my
pre-Christmas
blazer
show, we
on.
got to go Christmas sweater. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, so on
22nd.
the 22nd we'll get
we'll go
our
Christmas
ugly
sweater.
sweaters. Yep.
I got a
And then
couple
the
options.
29th, we're going to be dressed to the nines for the OTMs, which is going to become my new favorite show probably every single year because it's an award show. That's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, and you did a good job last year organizing and setting it up. You gave yourself.
You're the one that set it up. What are you talking about? Aren't you the one that put the Google form out or whatever?
No, that, but like you organizing like hosts and people introducing different awards and things like that, and your TikToks and stuff. And
look at that, Ryan Vogus. I'll consider hopping on that show as a guest
confirm
presenter.
He will consider hopping on. 100% certain he will definitely think about being on that show. I'm in.
We appreciate your consideration, Ryan Vogus, and thanks to you and Robbie for interacting with us. OTM Sunday Shoots are only available on YouTube. They will not be in audio form, so this is the only way you can watch us, whether it's at a later time or live. So, Tuck, I think that's all we got for him, correct?
I agree. We might see you this Thursday. If we don't, we'll see you next Thursday. We got winners coming up. And if you didn't check out Ring of Honor or NXT, go back and definitely watch the Iron Survivor matches from NXT. Looking back on it, was Ring of Honor a $40 show? Kyle or Erica, your thoughts?
No. 20? I'd say it was a $20 show. Yeah, I
agree. So if you haven't bought ROH
I wouldn't buy it again. If they had an ROH pay-per-view and it was $40, I probably wouldn't buy it. That's
we're in that wait and see mode now because they've got time until the next one. So, all right,
that we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Sunday Shoot version of the On the Mark
Wrestling.
I forgot we're doing this podcast.